Hi everyone, I'm Casey. Welcome back to our channel. Here, I share outfit ideas, styling tips, and pieces that have worked for me, especially as someone petite who values comfort, ease, and feeling good in what I wear. There's a quiet kind of power in knowing your style, not because it turns heads or follows trends, but because it feels right. It's a come home to yourself kind of feeling, like your outfit finally caught up with who you've been becoming. But defining your style isn't always simple. It isn't a fixed label, a perfect wardrobe, or a formula. It's a language, one you slowly learn to speak. And sometimes, like all things worth learning, it starts with silence, with paying attention to the things that make you feel something. Today, I want to walk you through that journey, not to tell you what to wear, but to help you ask better questions, to help you remember that style is a story you get to tell over and over again. Before the mood boards, before the YouTube lookbooks or Pinterest saves, take a moment to look inward. Ask yourself, when do I feel most myself? Not the polished version, not the Instagram-worthy one, just me. Maybe it's when you're walking through your neighborhood in soft joggers and an old favorite tee. Or maybe it's when you dress up for no reason and catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and smile. That feeling, that's you tapping into your style without even trying. It's the hoodie you always go back to, the shirt that just works, no matter your mood, the colors that make sense, even when nothing else does. We don't need to start with a shopping list or some big wardrobe reset. We start with the pieces we already love, the ones that make us feel good without overthinking it. We start by paying attention. Let yourself be a collector. Save screenshots, bookmark videos, photograph outfits that catch your eye, but look beyond the surface. Ask why something draws you in. Maybe it's not just the blazer, it's the structure. Not just the color, but the mood it carries. You might start to see patterns, an ease, a sharpness, a softness. You start leaning into the pieces that just feel right. The ones you naturally reach for because they make getting dressed feel effortless. Not because they're trendy or planned out, but because they just fit your rhythm, your mood, your way of moving through the day. In that kind of ease, your style starts to show itself. You're not trying to impress or define anything, you're just showing up as yourself. And somehow, that feels more put together than anything you've tried to force. Let this be a gathering phase. No pressure to make sense of it yet. Just gather the pieces that make your heart say yes, even if they don't match. Especially if they don't match. Now, take those pieces and try to find the thread. 3 words. Just 3. Not to confine you, but to anchor you. Maybe yours are clean, bold, effortless, or romantic, vintage, grounded, or maybe playful, androgynous, fluid. You're not setting strict rules, you're tuning into patterns. These little signals help you pause before buying into something that doesn't feel right. They give shape to your taste without making it rigid. Kind of like a familiar landmark when you've wandered a bit too far. Think of them like a compass, gently pointing you home. It's easy to get caught up in the version of ourselves we think we should be dressing for. The one who's always jetting off somewhere, flawlessly styled in outfits we've pinned 100 times. She lives out of curated suitcases, wears heels like they're slippers, and somehow never spills coffee on herself. But let's be honest, most days don't look like that. Style becomes something real when it meets you where you are. It lives in the rhythm of real life, the errands, the quiet afternoons, the moments that don't end up on social media, but still shape who you are. It's in the pieces you wear again and again, that one pair of trousers that magically works with everything. The dress that gives you just enough polish, even when you're standing barefoot in your kitchen, eating toast over the sink. These aren't just clothes you own, they're clothes you live in. And sure, your go-to look might be relaxed on most days, but that doesn't mean you don't know how to turn it up when you step out. Maybe you swap the sandals for boots, add lipstick, throw on a blazer like you have a meeting, even if it's just with your favorite table at a cafe. Style isn't hiding in some fantasy version of you. It's already showing up in the things that make you feel good, wherever you're going. When your clothes keep up with your life, messy, busy, or perfectly planned, they stop feeling like a costume and start feeling like second skin. Effortless, comfortable. Very you, with a little edge, when the occasion calls for it. You don't need to have a clear plan to get started. Honestly, most of the clarity comes from doing, not from thinking about it too much. Try things out. Play with different shapes, unexpected combos, layers you wouldn't usually wear. Put on something that feels slightly out of your comfort zone just to see what happens. Then notice what works. Not just in the mirror, but in how you move through the day wearing it. Some outfits will feel a little off. Others might look great on a hanger but not quite feel right once you're out the door. That's completely normal. Those aren't mistakes. They're just part of figuring out what feels like you and what doesn't. The more you experiment, the easier it gets to spot patterns. You start to recognize the colors that lift your mood, the fabrics you gravitate toward, the silhouettes that feel effortless without trying too hard. You start to trust your own taste, not just what's flattering, but what feels aligned with how you want to live. And then, every now and then, something clicks. An outfit feels like it fits you in more ways than one. Not because it's perfect, but because it feels natural. That's when you know you're getting closer to your style. Step by step, with each wear, you're refining it, without even realizing it. The version of you from 5 years ago probably had different taste, different priorities, maybe even a different body. And 5 years from now, you'll likely be dressing differently again. That's not something to resist. That's proof that you are growing. As your life shifts, new routines, new roles, new realizations, your style shifts too. What once felt exciting might now feel too loud. What used to be your go-to might suddenly feel like it belongs to someone else. That doesn't mean you're lost, it means you're in motion. And that's a good thing. You're not meant to pick one aesthetic and stick to it like a rule book. You can move through phases. You can explore softness after years of structure. You can fall in love with color after living in neutrals. You can come back to pieces you once gave away, realizing you missed how they made you feel. You don't need to reinvent everything every season, but you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to keep discovering what feels right for who you are right now. Not just who you used to be, or who you thought you were supposed to become. Because personal style isn't something you figure out once and then guard like a secret. It's something you keep shaping, bit by bit, as you move through life. Kind of like a home you keep rearranging over the years. Not because it was wrong before, but because you've changed. Your needs change. Your mood, your pace, your perspective, it all shifts. And your style gets to shift with it. You try something new, maybe something you weren't sure about before. You bring back an old favorite that suddenly feels right again. You shift things around, different pairings, different moods, until your style feels like a reflection of who you are right now. And the best part? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. As you change, you'll do it all over again. Refresh, refine, rediscover. That's the beauty of it. Your style moves with you. Defining your style isn't some grand aha moment. Sometimes it's just realizing how your preferences have quietly shifted. Over the years, I've watched my own style evolve in ways I didn't expect. There was a time when I thought turning 30 meant retiring bold colors for good. I leaned hard into neutrals, thinking they were the only way to feel grown up. But lately, even in my late 30s, I've been rediscovering color, wearing it confidently, not as a statement, but as something that simply feels right again. These small changes, choosing low heels over high ones on busy days, reaching for pieces that offer both style and comfort, embracing silhouettes I used to avoid, have helped me define a wardrobe that reflects who I am now, not who I thought I had to be. And that's what personal style really is, a reflection of the life you're living today. It's less about rules and more about recognition. Recognizing what makes you feel comfortable, confident, and connected to yourself. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to pay attention to what excites you, what feels natural, what you keep coming back to. Let your style evolve. Let it surprise you. Wear the pieces that make sense for your rhythm, at home, on the go, dressed up or down. The more you stay honest with yourself, the easier it becomes to build a wardrobe that doesn't just look good, but feels like you. Having a signature look sounds nice, but real style isn't about sticking to one thing forever. It's learning to trust your own taste, even when it goes against what's trending. And as you move through different seasons of life, your wardrobe quietly evolves with you. Not to reinvent who you are, but to support the version of you that's growing, changing, and becoming more sure of herself. That's it for today. Try things, switch it up, and don't take it too seriously. You're doing just fine. See you in the next one.